Hello, Kenny Harper here, and this is an action amplifier. And really what we're talking today about is something that everyone just loves talking about, is just taxes, really, and how you got to be prepared. And there's a few things that we've learned through this year, this challenging year of 2020, that we're going to kind of talk about today. My guest today is really an expert when it comes to solving tax-related problems, whether it's tax debt, got liens or levies. He's the guy you want to check out. I'd like to welcome to Growth Amplifiers, John Jones.
Hi, nice to talk to you.
Thanks for joining. And if you wouldn't mind, we just give a quick background on your business and your company.
Sure. My business, I'm a full-scale CPA firm. I've got associates I work with. Our primary line of business, though, is tax resolution and resolving tax debt. But I'll say that that's not all we do. And this has been a very challenging year in the tax industry because we are so dependent on working with governmental agencies that have been really hamstrung in their efforts to serve taxpayers and the public. So you really have to work hard to work around some of the challenges that are posed by things that really are not in your control. So the virus isn't under anybody's control, and the tax business is no different.
Now, I've worked, as we chatted about a moment ago, with some tax professionals that have had a challenging year, and there's something going on beneath the scenes that a lot of people may not be privy to. Could you give us a little insight of what's kind of happened and why that's posing a challenge for some and a delayed challenge for others?
Well, why it's posing a challenge is everyone in delivering a personal professional service wants to do their best, wants to serve their client. And in order to do it in this business, you need the cooperation of the Internal Revenue Service, which I found out this past week is 3 million pieces of mail that are unopened. I've had clients that have filed taxes in April and May, and the results still are not posted. Those returns still are not processed. And it's hard to work with people who have tax issues that they're struggling with, because you can't take care of them within a reasonable amount of time. That's one of the things below the surface. And you know that it's going to change. It has to change. And things are going to come back online, and it's going to be a tidal wave all at once. And you're not going to be able to handle it. So you have to figure out, how are you going to scale up when the challenge meets you?
That is, it's pretty scary because there's, in my background, I've seen some businesses have just been hammered in this year. Others have actually had the opposite effect and they've actually benefited. And then there's some that are in between that are just kind of like, well, didn't really get hurt, didn't really gain, but kind of in the middle. What do you think something people can do to maybe prepare and get prepared for the things that are coming?
I think one of the things that I do is you have to evaluate your business strategically, and you have to decide, if you're in the tax repair type business, you have to decide whether that's going to be your sole source of revenue or how dependent you are on that one source of revenue. And you need to look at other types of businesses that you can run concurrently, that you could scale into while you're taking care of those problems, and the IRS comes back around again. So it doesn't hurt to have some alternatives available, and you should talk to other tax professionals and see what they do, because there's a lot of other things that are tangential to to tax work that you may be qualified to do or could get to be qualified to do with very little effort. That's one thing. The other is to really examine all of your alternatives to outsourcing, because you know that the challenge is going to come. You know that it's going to hit, and you have to break your business down into segments and look at what can be outsourced to other people, and look around for reliable service providers. And then finally, you need to look at your pricing, whether you've got a pricing structure that may accommodate the increase in costs if you outsource some of the things that you're presently doing in-house.
Well, those are some helpful tips, actionable, and definitely just an eye opener. Saw it like a decade ago when the housing market went crazy, and a lot of people who were in the real estate space had no legs to stand on. And so, just to take a step back and think about your business, because everyone didn't see things coming, and there's always the thought: do you have a way to pivot or change course or diversify to weather a storm that may come? So great, helpful tips from from John Jones. Thank you for sharing today, and I appreciate getting those insights. If people want to learn more about you and your business, where could they go and what could they do?
They could go to my website, which is www.jpjaccounting.net. I would give you it's okay if I give a phone number?
Mm-hmm.
Sure, you can call me at 630-926-2183. And just leave me a message or a text if I don't pick up immediately.
All right. Well, thank you, John, for sharing. We appreciate you and what you do, and keep on taking that action to amplify others who are working through this challenge. We appreciate you.
Sure. Nice talking to you.
To show your support, take a moment to amplify this message by sharing it online. To connect with me or gain more business growth insights, visit www.growthamplifiers.com. Thank you for your support.